Hi everyone, welcome and thank you so much for joining today from wherever you are in the world. I hope you will have a great time today as you and I learn how to stay productive online. Now, before we kick off this session, I'd like to take the time to introduce myself. My name is Nicole and I am a digital skills trainer with Extend based in Cape Town, South Africa. I'm really excited to be on this journey with you guys as we learn and grow our digital skills. So please do introduce yourself in the chat or in the comment section and let me know where you're from and what you look most forward to learning today. So on our agenda today, we'll discuss the items you'll need to set up your remote office. We'll explain the importance of building a productive working environment and provide top tips to do just this. Will also help you to manage and maintain your well-being. So let's jump right in. I've got a question for you guys, and I'd like to know, how has COVID-19 impacted your role? Are you still able to go into the office and see your colleagues, or do you need to work from home? Please do let me and my moderator let me know in the chat. So our first section is setting up your remote office. So remote work is a working style that allows professionals to work outside of a traditional office environment. It is based on the concept that work does not need to be done in a specific place to be executed successfully. While having the ability to work from outside of corporate office has been feasible for a few decades, working remotely is only now becoming mainstream. So think of it this way. Instead of commuting to an office each day to work from a designated desk, you can execute your work and achieve your goals wherever you want. Sounds great, right? Remote working allows you the flexibility to design your day so that your professional and personal life can be experienced to the fullest potential and coexist peacefully. There has been a cultural paradigm in what society deems to be an appropriate workplace, and remote work has capitalized off of that newfound freedom. So, where can people work remotely? Let's take a look. Working remotely doesn't mean you only work at home. There are lots of places you can work from once lockdown is lifted, of course. For some self employed people, a home office is the best solution. But that doesn't mean you have to have a corner in your living room with a clunky desk and monitor. You can fit your office where it fits in your life. Working at home cuts off the commute time. It costs less and it gives you the flexibility with your home life. Working in public spaces like coffee shops, bars, and restaurants often boosts productivity. And life can get pretty boring sitting at home working away on your own. And humans are social animals, which means that we need interaction with others, as this is important for our mental health. So if you don't just work from home, but you live alone too, then your contact with other people may be limited. Working in cafes gives you the chance of at least a smile from someone else and maybe even a chat. Co-working spaces are also a great opportunity and an option for freelancers as well as remote workers. But the fee for a dedicated desk can run hundreds per month. So be aware of the costs around this. If you don't need to make any phone calls, libraries are a great option to get your work done. It's often free with Wi-Fi and lots of tables. But wherever you choose to get your work done, one thing remains key, and that's ensuring that you're equipped with the tools you need to work effectively. So, what do you need to work remotely? Let myself know in the chat whether you need perhaps a cell phone or telephone to make phone calls. Perhaps you need a laptop or a printer. Please engage with us in the comment section. So here are a few tools that you'll most likely need to work remotely, depending on the type of work you do, of course. So these are a few key elements you will need to work remotely. And as mentioned previously, you'll need a space to work from. So if you're working from home, put some thought into creating a working environment that is suitable for the type of work you do. Be respectful of the space, especially if it is a shared space. And just because you're not working at an office doesn't mean you can't have an office. Rather than working in your room or on a couch, spaces that are associated with leisure time, dedicate a specific room or a surface in your home to work from. You'll also need devices. Now, this is the technology you will need to do your work. For example, you will need a laptop if you're working on typed documents and spreadsheets, or a phone if you're taking calls. A steady internet connection is also what you'll most likely need, as work today is increasingly collaborative. You may rely on internet connection to send and receive files, work on live files, and communicate with your team. And for this reason, an internet connection is crucial to your remote working toolkit. So let's take a look at these in a bit more detail. So create your own workspace inside your home environment. Now the living room or the bed might not be the best place for you to work if you want to be productive, that is. And that's why creating your own workspace at home is very important, as it will help you concentrate. So pick a place inside your home environment where you feel most productive. Although most people talk of working from the couch comfortably, you will soon realize that this isn't an effective solution. So consider setting aside a table and a chair in a room with minimal distractions. A simple desk and a comfortable chair in one corner of your room or on the balcony will work just fine. The workspace does not need to be out of this world. And if possible, create an ergonomically comfortable space. And by this I mean a space where you can create a comfortable seating position. Choose a type of chair with back and arch support. Make sure you have a comfortable head position when deciding on the position and place for your laptop or monitor. Now next up, we'll take a look at the equipment you'll need. So the physical equipment you might need, depending on the sort of work you do, could perhaps be a telephone to answer calls and to communicate with team members, a computer or a laptop, working on multiple documents, or if you need to do video calls and conferences. Most laptops do come with a webcam, but they tend to angle up the user's nostrils. So, meaning an external camera is most likely your best option. You'll maybe need a notebook to keep notes or write down things to do, ideas, or to make scribbles. So now we'll take a look at the importance of stable power and how to get a stable power connection. So finding a stable power supply for working may be one of the major challenges you will face as a remote worker. So to be productive, you have to get stable power to change your devices, your laptop, mobile phones, etc. And one way you can surmount this challenge is getting a generating set. You may or may not have one already. So you can also try solar power devices or inverters. Working remotely likely means incurring additional costs of powering generating devices or purchasing inverters. Working on the go remotely in other locations with Wi-Fi, such as cafes or libraries, are also a great option. So take your laptop to a place where you can get power while you work. So now we'll take a look at the importance of getting a good internet connection and how to go about checking internet speed. Now, while the cost of data has cheapened in recent times, the speed of the internet connection hasn't improved much. Slow internet connection means you can't do much online. Web pages would take forever to load, and this will probably cause frustration and greatly affect your productivity. Now, to be productive, you have to get decent internet connection, and this means moving from laptop tethering to investing in broadband or fiber to the home internet service. Now, don't be that person who didn't finish an important task because of slow internet. So choose the right ISP. And the first step is choosing the right ISP, which means Internet Service Provider, if you didn't know that already. And depending on where you live, there will be multiple ISPs to choose from. If your data connection is unreliable, working remotely will be an advantage, which means you can work and change locations in search for better and improved network connections. The right router. Choosing the right kind of router is as important as keeping it at the right place. For ideal signal strength, make sure the Wi-Fi router is not kept in an enclosure or blocked by too many things around. Plug in running a network cable from the router to the home office is ideal. You can use facts.com or Google Internet Speed to test and compare internet speeds across ISPs, because this will definitely help ensure your network speed is fast and will not affect your workflow. So now that we know what equipment we'll need, let's take a look at some of the challenges we'll need to overcome. So please do let me know in the chat or in the comment section, what are the challenges of working remotely been for you? I'd love to hear from you guys. Is it perhaps loneliness or too many distractions? Well, let's take a look. So these are some of the challenges of working from home. One of them being loneliness. And loneliness is one of the major drawbacks of working from home, especially for extroverts. So if you're used to office chats, you might find working from home lonely. However, if you think working alone affects your productivity, You can go to a restaurant or an eatery to get your work done. The second challenge is self-discipline. You need dedication, discipline, and self-control to avoid losing momentum while working from home. Don't convince yourself that a single YouTube video during your working hours won't do any harm. Before you know it, you will have spent hours on it. The third challenge is no employee benefits. You won't have employee benefits like health insurance or retirement funds. And although work at home opportunities in some countries provide medical coverage, the same can't be said when working online in a different country. The fourth challenge is difficult to switch off. When you're in your when you're working in your office, you're most likely conscious of the closing time, but that's not always the case when you work remotely. When you're working remotely, the lines between work and home life can be blurred. Since you're working from your dining room, you may not find it easy to disengage yourself from work. And the last challenge is fear of missing out. Now, working remotely could make you feel left out occasionally, especially when you miss out on an important announcement, meetings, or events in your office. You'll most likely be the last person to hear about upcoming events. However, with software like Slack, you can keep updates while you work remotely. Although these challenges may seem large initially, with time and some getting used to, we can master and overcome these challenges. The benefits of working from home definitely outweigh the cons. So, what are the benefits of working remotely? Let me know in the chat and in the comment sections what are the benefits of remote working being for you in particular. So, the benefits of working remotely for employees include the following. The first being flexibility. Sometimes there are things you just need to be at home for. What, whether it's waiting in for repair service or a parcel from or a parcel, working from home allows you the flexibility to deal with the unexpected. On top of that, there are the everyday tasks you can fit in around your work, like doing laundry or the dishes or receiving online groceries. The second option, the second benefit, is no commuting. Commuting takes time out of your day that you'll never get back. And that's because you don't take into account how long it takes to get ready in the morning. And when you work from home, you can be at your desk or the kitchen table and ready to work within a few minutes of waking up. You can even schedule some meditation or exercise in before you get stuck in your task instead of stuck in traffic or cramped public transport. You'll also be able to enjoy more time with your family, and especially now during COVID, that is in particular quite a special time. Less distractions. With some willpower and a steady routine, you'll soon learn to avoid being distracted by the TV or your next load of laundry. In fact, you should find yourself getting more done when you work remotely. And that's because you can control your working situation much more. You don't have to worry about coworkers stopping by just to ask a question or to socialize. When you're remote and need to really concentrate, you can just change your status In a group chat to do not disturb and buckle down. High morale is another benefit of working from home. Remote employees are notably less stressed and have higher morale than their in-office counterparts. Happier, healthier employees produce better work and feel more committed to their companies. So from this perspective, remote work is good for business. Now let's take a look at the benefits brought to the wider business. So benefits of remote working for business include the following. Reduced overhead costs. Now the cost of securing an office space is high, especially in major cities. For many startups, paying higher rents places a heavy burden on their budgets, forcing them to make cuts to vital areas of their business. This not only saves rent costs, it also saves on utilities and resources. These would add up over time and can make a significant impact on overhead. Another benefit includes greater productivity from a highly engaged workforce, access to a wider pool of talent, and by allowing employees to work remotely, employers can hire the best talents while not limiting themselves by geographical restrictions. This also promotes diversity as different people from different geopoli- geographical zones work together, although remotely. In other words, by offering a remote work option, companies can extend their tentacles to a wider pool of talent. And the last being improved employee retention. Well, that's enough from me. Let's quickly find out what questions you may have. So please let me know in the chat or in the comment section what questions you have, or if you're uncertain about something. One of our moderators will be happy to assist you. And if you've got any feedback for us, please do drop them in the chat and the comment section as well. So our next section is build a productive work environment. Now we'll take a look at how to build a healthy personal environment for optimized productivity. The quality of your workspace is vital to productivity, so put some thought into the workspace. There are some tips to creating a workspace that promotes wellness and productivity, including the use of natural light and desk position. You will need to consider the space for your various tasks and how to arrange your home office layout effectively. Create an area of your own to work. It can be the countertop in the kitchen where your laptop is, or a corner in the den with a desk, or an entire room in the house. If your workspace is in a shared place, consider creating a screen to add separation. Find the right chair for you. Find a chair within your own home or purchase an ergonomic chair to sit in at your desk. Invest in a good chair that fits you and feels good. So do what your budget affords. Develop a filing system to keep you organized. So it's important to ensure your personal environment is one which helps you work effectively remotely. Your environment has great impact on the quality of work you produce. According to a research study on the effects of work environment on productivity, workplace distractions cut employee productivity by 40% and increase errors by 27%. Quite interesting. So how can you minimize distractions? In the comments or in the chat, please let me know how you are minimizing distractions. What top tips do you have for us? Do let us know. So let's take a look at a few tips or steps rather to minimize distractions. And it can be challenging to avoid distractions at work, and that may become more so in your home environment. Sometimes focusing on the work right in front of you can be a challenge, even more so if it's something you hope you didn't need to do. Here are a few tips to help you avoid getting too distracted. So the first one is let others know your work hours. If you've got family and friends or neighbors, let them know your work hours. That way, they can speak to you at a time which suits both of your needs. This will allow them to interrupt you only if it is urgent. Do one thing at a time. After breaking down your huge process into smaller, doable pieces, choose one and dedicate yourself entirely to it. After you complete it, you can move on to the next task and the next day after. Avoid TV and household distractions. Put away all pets. And while we all love our furry friends, they will only distract us. So save the animal love for after work hours. And then finally, take regular breaks. There's only so much our brains can handle before it starts falling and causing greater distractions. So get up from your table, go for a short walk, or grab a coffee. You'll find that when you get back to work, it'll be a lot easier to avoid distractions. Minimizing your distractions will help you optimize your productivity when working remotely. So how can we improve productivity within our teams? Let me know in the chat or in the comments, what are you currently doing to improve productivity within your teams? Are you using particular software? If so, please let us know. So let's take a look at project management software and how that can help us. Remote team members need to be able to plan and collaborate on commitments, deliverables, and tasks. They also need to track the flow of work from start to finish. They may need to establish vision and deliverables or logistics for team communication, promote visibility and transparency of all work. With project management software, you can also track the quality and the status of projects. You can identify and address bottlenecks. And a few project management softwares that you may be able to use depending on your business needs. You can use Trello, Asana, Basecamp, Mural, or Rike. Next up, we'll take a look at communication. 70% of workplace mistakes are made due to poor communication. Now, communication plays a fundamental role in our daily lives, and for some, good communication comes naturally. But for others, it can be hard to articulate their thoughts and feelings in conversation, often leading to conflict and fundamental errors. Whether you're an effective communicator or not, it's essential to understand the importance of good communication and how it can help you move forward in the working world. So it's important to communicate effectively when working in general. But dispersed teams can impact the efficacy of more traditional company communication. There are different communication tools that can work more effectively than others. Emails are particularly useful for business communication. Group mail allows you to send a single mail to a large number of recipients. Unlike instant messaging or instant chat, responses from emails can take longer and messages may get lost in spam. Messaging platforms can facilitate many of the daily functions of a physical workspace or an internal email thread would normally perform. There are lots of chat-based platforms out there that allow you to communicate more effectively within your team. Some of them include Slack, Gmail, HubSpot, or Google Hangouts. But what rules can we create to communicate more effectively? Let me know in the chat what rules are you currently using to communicate more effectively. So in order for communication to be effective, you need to set rules. Therefore, creating the right communication channels and ensuring everyone knows how to use them is essential. Virtual teams don't always choose their communication channels wisely, which can harm trust, increase tension, and create unnecessary work. So think about what kind of things will be communicated in the channel. Action items, feedback, maybe deadline reminders. Consider your audience, so make sure your message is appropriate. Communicate clearly, respond promptly, set and role model the guidelines. So video meetings and calls enable teams to communicate and collaborate in real time. You can connect teams working remotely. You can improve levels of communication as well as boost collaboration. So let's take a look at video conferencing tools in more detail. And some of these will include Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Skype, and WhatsApp. So with Google Meet, you can keep your team connected with enterprise-grade video conferencing built on Google's robust and secure global infrastructure. Meet is included in G Suite and G Suite for Education. So take advantage of the same secure by design infrastructure, built-in protection, and global network that Google uses to secure your information and safeguard your privacy. Meet video meetings are encrypted in Transnet and our array of default on anti-abuse measures keep your meetings safe. Meet is fully integrated with G Suite so you can join meetings directly from a calendar event or an email invite. All of the important event details are right there when you need them, whether you're joining from a computer, a phone, or a conference room. With Meet's specially designed iOS and Android apps, you can see your meetings for the day with all the important information from calendar. Then join with a tap. G Suite's Enterprise Edition also creates a dial-in phone number for each meeting, so every guest has a great experience, even on the road without Wi-Fi or data. Next up, we'll take a look at Zoom. Zoom is an application that can be downloaded either on your computer or on your mobile device. Zoom is free for the first 45 minutes. You can use Zoom to host or join a meeting for online classes through the app or by accepting an email invitation. Zoom can be downloaded on either PC, Mac, Android, or iOS, and up to 100 people can join an online class or meeting in the free mode. Next, we'll take a look at Microsoft Teams. So with Microsoft Teams, you can create teams and channels to organize your departments, separate groups, and enable teams to work more effectively. You can utilize the chat and video call functions to boost communication. There are also GIFs and emojis you can use. You can share documents and collaborate with ease. You can use the add function to tag and notify team members. Microsoft Teams is included in your Microsoft 365 package. Next, we'll take a look at Skype. In today's always on-the-go world, it can be difficult to get groups of friends, family members, or co-workers together in one place. And with Skype video chat, group video calls for up to 50 people is available for free on just about any mobile device, tablet, or computer. Group video chat makes it easy for up to 50 people to meet and collaborate all at once. With group screen sharing, you can present PowerPoint slides, video recordings, and more to your entire team. Remote co-workers can work more efficiently. Assigning projects and discussing due dates are faster and more productive with face-to-face conversation through Skype. With the Skype video chat app, you'll have access to a variety of innovative features, including immersive full-screen video, which allows you to focus your work while you attend a meeting or just a casual chat with your team. You can send chat invites to anyone, even to people or clients who don't use Skype, by using a unique link to which they can connect with you. So now we'll take a look at how to run an effective meeting. First and foremost, you need to set an agenda. Now these help you to frame discussions and the wider session and also ensure everyone is on the same page. You need to consider your tone of voice. If working remotely, people can't see your body language so easily, your voice is all they have to go by. So make sure your intonation is good and you're expressive, not monotone. Encourage your participants to use the camera. It's important to connect with each other. It makes things more personal, and it also boosts nonverbal communication. Another thing you need to do is to be timely. Don't leave people waiting on calls. Be punctual as you would for an in-person meeting. So let's take a look at video conferencing etiquette. A few have given much thought to how they should behave in this new reality of work. Employees are still technically at work, so would wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt be acceptable? What do you think? Let me know in the comments or in the chat. Are we permitted to let ourselves go, as we believe we likely won't be seeing anyone today? These are all considerations which, although might seem trivial, are not necessarily. People who have been working from home for some time understand that discipline is key to a successful workday. During this time, you will need to conduct video conferencing, so here are a few steps to guide you to running an effective meeting. So first thing you need to do is to prepare yourself. You need to dress appropriately, so don't turn up in sweatpants and a tank top. Dressing appropriately will help you get in the right mindset for work. Consider your lighting. Another consideration is where the light source is coming from. Adjust your camera for different contrasts so faces can appear clearly. A desk lamp positioned from above to reduce shadows as well as light up your face is recommended. If you wear glasses, you should conduct some tests to see how the light reflects off your lenses. Another thing you should do is to consider your background. In order to be clearly visible, it's good practice to use a neutral background with little to no movement. So think of curtains and blinds which can move in the wind. The colors you wear should also be in contrast with the environment to ensure you stand out in the video. Also consider your audio. Can people hear you clearly? And mute your mic if you're not speaking, especially if there is a lot of background noise. So lastly, let's turn our attention to boosting collaboration. So here are some top tips for collaborating effectively. First, equip your team with right tools. Second, make project management easier. Third, make document sharing a breeze. Fourth, encourage collaboration between departments. And lastly, prioritize company culture. So here are some final top tips for productivity. So in this time of COVID period, remote work or working from home has moved from being a perk to a policy. How productive you are during this period of social distancing could set a precedent in making a case for or against working from home in the future. So let's look at those tips. Over communicate. Communicate with your team regularly and keep them in the loop. Unlike an office environment, when working remotely, your team members can't see what they're doing or what you're doing. Be disciplined. Don't fall into temptations. Remote work is not a vacation or paid leave. Since there's no supervisor looking over your shoulder, to sleep or to chill and watch your favorite series may seem tempting. So don't turn off your phone or ignore communications from your boss and colleagues or give excuses. Discipline yourself, work from home, and enjoy your pay. Have your tools ready. For most people that can and would be working remotely, the lifeblood of their productivity is power and internet. So make sure you have alternative sources of power, a generating set or an inverter, an unlimited fast internet source. Find your booster and use it. So what gets you into the invincible work mode? Is it a playlist, an energy drink, or snack? Let me know in the chat. Whatever ignites your stamina, use it during this trying and depressing time to keep your head up and keep going. Depending on your employee situation, you may have flexible working hours. So use this to work when you're most active, whether you're a night owl or an early bird. Working from home allows you to work at the best time. Now for some questions. If you have any questions, let myself and my moderator know in the chat. We will be happy to respond to you. So now we move on to our last section, and that is manage and maintain your well-being. Why is it important to manage your well-being? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the chat or in the comment section why you think it's important to manage your well-being. Well, the importance of managing your well-being. The first is it impacts your overall health. You are healthier and fitter when managing your well-being. Also, it leads to greater productivity. You're more motivated, more focused, and you work better and more quickly. It increases your resilience. You can overcome obstacles head on. You don't crumble in the face of challenges and setbacks. It also boosts your morale and levels of happiness. So you feel more engaged, supported, and happy. And this has a huge impact on your working life. So now that we know why it's important to manage our well-being, what can we actually do just that? So let me know in the chat, what can you do to manage your well-being? If you've got any tips, please do drop them in the chat or in the comment section as well. Again, I would love to engage with you. So one of the many reasons managers don't approve of remote work is that they fear employees will slack off without that physical in-person oversight. But in fact, the opposite tends to be the reality. Remote working can result in overworking. When your personal life and your work are both under the same roof, it's harder to switch off. So make sure you allow yourself breaks throughout the day. Be clear with your team or when you're leaving, for example, by making a quick announcement in Slack, and then actually shut down your computer. Turn off notifications on your phone and your computer so you're not pulled back into work after hours. Set appointments on your calendar for the end of the day to get yourself out of your home office. So, for example, set a reminder for go to gym or go grocery shopping or just take a walk around the block. What other top tips are there? Well, let's take a look. It's important to manage the cultural shift from office-based working to remote working and how this can impact your well-being. So beyond the barriers of power supply and internet access for employees, traditional companies will also have to revise aspects of their established work and organizational culture to embrace remote work. Traditional companies often appear bogged down by concerns about productivity lags, so you should choose to trust that the performance metrics that have been set in place will trump inefficiencies. Rethink how they will see work. Sitting down for hours straight doesn't equate to better or more work done. It's all well and good if people want to do the jobs from home, but if they don't have electricity, fuel, or good internet connection, nothing productive is going to happen. So let's take a look at managing your overall well-being. First, encourage exercise within your team. Take mental health as serious as physical health. Hold regular performance check-ins. Encourage workers to separate work and private life. Organize in-person social meetups. If you have any questions at this point in time, please do drop them in the chat. Let myself and my moderator know. We will be happy to respond to you. So today's session is just the beginning. Please let me know what is one thing that you will do or change following the session. What will you implement first? Let me know. Another thing that you could possibly do is, if you are interested in learning more, you could check out the website learndigitalwithgoogle.com/digital skills/courses, in which you can learn more about digital skills. There are lots of short courses and training programs. You can find us on social media for upcoming sessions as well as digital tips and tricks. You can follow Google Digital Skills Africa on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The links are available in the description of the video, and my moderator will also leave them in the chat. Well, that's it from me, guys. Thank you again for joining. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the chat or in the comment section which section you enjoyed the most. And if you have any feedback, please drop them in there as well. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. I hope you have a great day.